Hello everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Karynn. Today we're going to have a guest. His name is David Weinstein. He's an accountant and a tax preparer. We're going to talk about Texas, and we're going to talk about the IRS and all the changes they're having. But first, I want to talk to you about a concern that I have. I was at the store, big store, has everything in that big store. And I'm starting to see people bring their dogs into the store. I am totally and completely against this, due to health reasons. One thing, you don't want to have the dogs open in the store, because what if it lifts its leg on some of the products, especially food, even though it's enclosed and all. I don't want any dog to do any kind of urine anywhere in the floor. I don't want the dog to do poops in the floor. And maybe right now it's okay, but when you get more and more dogs, more mishaps happen, more accidents happen. So I ban dogs being in stores, especially grocery stores and other stores. The dog was barking at another dog. We can't have that. I'm not going into a store where I have to hear a dog bark, two dogs fighting, or anything like that. I love dogs a lot. So I came up with a solution. Just outside the doors of the store, put in a kennel. And put one where you could put the dog in one of the cages. I don't like using that term. Separate containers. And then if the dog's really friendly, there's a playroom so the dogs could play with each other and the workers can play with the dogs while you go do your shopping. I would like it non-profit, and I would like it in this way that the family members who own the dog could go and stress-free and relax and do their shopping. And they know their dog is in good care. We don't want any dogs in the car, in the heat. We all know that's bad. Also, how about the cold? We don't want our dogs in a cold car. So I thought of doing a kennel and have a room where the dogs could play with each other. Then, if you have children, and you want to have children participate, interact with the dogs, that would be fun. Let the children get used to dogs. So then when they grow up, they're not afraid of them. They'll see the beauty in dogs. I love dogs too. I know you love your dog very much, as if it's your child. But health reasons, let's get a kennel in there, a little bit of music, get a rug in a room area, let the dogs just play with each other and have fun. It will be monitored the entire time that the store is open. We could do this for grocery stores. We could do this for regular department stores. But I have a ban on dogs being in stores. Thank you. Like I said, we have a guest today. His name is Dave Weinstein. He's my husband, he's my spouse, he's my everything, he's my friend, my best friend. And we're going to talk about taxes and what's going on with the taxes. So, at this time, come on in, Dave, join us, and we want you to tell us all about taxes and what's going on. What is happening with all our tax money? Do you really think the IRS really counts the money correctly? Because when we look at Manhattan, all those people living in Manhattan, working in Manhattan, New York, where is all that money going? Can you tell us that, Dave? Can you answer that question, please?
I have no idea. Nobody knows. It just goes in. It just goes in. You send them your check. They cash it. And it goes into a big pot called the federal budget. And gets spread everywhere. To anyone, anywhere Congress tells them to do it, they send it. And when they run out of money, they just do bonds, bring in more money.
Or
Yeah.
they shut down the
Yeah, they could do
shut
that
it
if they
down.
want to play their games.
Right.
They'll shut down the government for a while. Of course, the government workers, they don't get paid when they're shut down, except for Congress. That's another story. But once they restart, they get all their back pay.
Oh.
So it's, who knows?
Well, anyway, maybe they say I should have a vacation. Maybe they want a vacation. But lately they haven't. They've been working very hard on the package, telling me about the package and all other things about preparing taxes for your clients.
Well, this year it's a total mess because of the way they are doing with unemployment. As of now, probably the first 10,000 of unemployment will not be taxable. But that's today, March 8th. They haven't decided yet. And a lot of people filed their tax returns. Quite a few people I'm not filing because they don't know whether it's taxable or not, and it could make a severe difference. You got two married couples not working. You're talking $20,000 in income that may or not be taxable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just right now it's chaos. And filing season usually starts middle of January. This year it didn't start till the middle of February because of all the last minute changes they did. And then they added more changes onto it.
So right now, up to this point, they've had many changes. What did you say?
They've had many changes to the tax law.
And how are the people and the people who do tax preparation, where do they stand in all this? Are you really getting far behind? Will you be able to hold off, like you said, doing the changes? Will you finish all your clients' taxes before April 15th?
I just don't know. And there's a very good chance that they're going to extend the filing till after April 15th just because of the mess that they've created. And unfortunately, a lot of times you got to play games because of the stimulus. And people want to get their income down to a level where they get the next $1,400 stimulus. And it's based on either the 2019 or the 2020 income. And you've got to judge if someone's income increased a lot in 2020, we won't file their return until they decide who gets the stimulus, because you want it based on the 2019 income. But if their 2020 income is much less than 2019, we have to file the 2020 return soon, even though we may have to do an amended return because of the unemployment. So I know that's confusing, but welcome to my world.
And what is happening with people? Tell me about the stimulus. Are they going to be taxed on that? How does that work?
No, no one's taxed on the stimulus. It's tax-free money. But when you do your return, you have to put into it how much you got of the stimulus, because if your income changed and you did not get the full stimulus, and your 2020 income is low enough, you will get the stimulus that you did not get the first time around.
Did you get a stimulus, the $600 the first time?
No, I didn't get it for some reason.
Too much money?
No, there is no rational reason. Karynn, my wife, we filed a joint return. She got her $600, and I didn't get it. But since I did not get it, it'll be factored into me when I file my 2020 return. So it's not that I lost it. I just have to wait to get it.
My thoughts about stimulus, the government said that we had money coming $600, and that was very helpful for many people. I think it helped the economy. People had a little bit more money to spend. At a restaurant, I saw an elderly woman sitting at the booth for breakfast. To me, it appeared as if that was the first time she was going out for breakfast or going out for a meal at a restaurant in years. And she just sat there, so delightful, that she's receiving a breakfast, and she could afford to pay for it. Just think. I should have asked her, when was the last time you were in a restaurant? But she was calm, she was patient, she was so delighted. She said, I did something good the other day. This is my reward. Isn't that wonderful? Congress, Senate, the President, good job. This woman experienced having a breakfast at a restaurant. And she was so delighted and so happy. So happy. What are your thoughts about that? What do you think? Because we talked to her, both of us talked to her. Didn't you see that she came to the diner and hasn't been there in a long time? And that was her gift to herself.
Yes, she seemed so happy to be out. And even though she was sitting at a table by herself, she didn't feel bad. She was enjoying a nice meal. She didn't have to cook it. Someone cooked it for her and delivered it to her. And she was just so happy to be out. And
she had extra money from the stimulus, right, Dave?
Yep.
Now, people, I recall, it was asked for a $600 stimulus, which we had received. Not all, but have received. Many have. And then there was going to be a $2,000 additional stimulus package. But they felt it was a little bit too high in price to give out for $2,000 to each person. So they compromised. They took the $600 and took then the sending out stimulus $1,400. So the $600 and the $1,400 equal $2,000. That is fantastic what the government is doing for our people, us. This is us, the United States. You're doing this for us. What is this woman going to celebrate when she receives her $1,400 stimulus? I'd like to know what she would do with that money.
Maybe she'll go out to dinner instead of breakfast.
Exactly. Or she might go out and buy some clothes, maybe some shoes. And that will help the economy. So I applaud, I don't do this very often, but I applaud the government for coming together, Senate and Congress, and the President coming together to provide some money so that they can have certain needs that they put off. They needed it, but they put it aside because they didn't have the money to afford such luxuries. For us, they are luxuries. I know if you make a lot of money, you just go there and it's no big deal. But when you don't have much money, it is a big deal. Now Dave, what is the bracket for income? If you make $60,000, will you get a stimulus? Who are the ones who are receiving the stimulus? How much money, or little money that they have, how much of that money decides who gets how much and who receives it? Is it based on
it's based
their income?
On their income. And for the $1,400, the cutoff point is if you're single, $75,000, or if you're married couple, it's $150,000. If you make less than that, you get the full amount, and then there's a cutoff point. I believe with the way they're talking now, for single, it's just up at when you're over 80,000, you get nothing. So it's between 75 and 80, you get a portion of it, and that's, to me, that's fine, because you want to put the money in the hands of the middle income, lower income people, because they're the ones that when they take the money, they're going to spend it, and that's going to really help the economy get out of this mess sooner. The more money you put in people's hands and they spend it, the better the economy is going to come back much quicker and fuller.
Thank you to the government. It is the right thing to do, is to help the little guy, the one that has no money. Now Dave, tell me about the changes. A little bit more of the changes in the tax. Remember we discussed that certain point, the changes and how you have to wait, you're holding off sending people's tax returns to the IRS. Can you expand a little bit more on the changes that the government, the IRS, is doing, and that's delaying you from sending the tax returns to the government?
It has to do with the income level to have people get the full stimulus. I've got some clients whose 2019 income was low, so they got pretty much the full stimulus, or most of it, but their income for 2020 is higher to the point where they wouldn't get any stimulus, so we're not filing the return until they decide, when they're going to, they get the stimulus. Assuming that the government does start sending them out in March, I'm guessing it'll be based on their 2019 income, which is low enough to get the full stimulus. Then we'll file the 2020 income, which is high, but they'll already get the stimulus.
I understand.
And it goes.
Can you repeat that?
It also goes vice versa.
I'm listening.
People's 2019 income was high, and they got no stimulus. So we're rushing to get the 2020 return filed because their income has dropped to the point where they get the full stimulus. And it's a constant juggling act as to when to do it, which just makes my job more fun, challenging, and more rewarding when you help the people.
Yes, David worked for the IRS for about 8 years ago, and now he has his own clients, his own business, and he works very hard to be sure each client receives the most money they can when they do the taxes. He leaves no stone unturned.
Right. I try to get them the best legal refund that they can, or pay the lowest amount of taxes possible. But it's got to be legal. I don't play games on that area.
Right, and neither should you. Be honest. Well, I think that's about all. Anything would you like to add?
No, just enjoy life, because things are going to get much better very soon. And
I think
get your
so
vaccines.
too. I feel much happier. I'm glad the vaccine's in the springtime because it's getting better weather. People could go back out. I just read in the news today they're okaying if all people get the vaccination. If you're with someone who had the vaccination and you had the vaccination, then there could be 2 or 3 people together to talk. And if you all have had your vaccination, you could congregate 3 or 4 people and talk. But we're not ready to have large number of people together. Let us get more people vaccinated and to eradicate this terrible COVID. What would you call it? COVID virus. Anything else, Dave?
No, that's all for me.
Okay. Well, thank you for being with us. Remember, go and get vaccinated so that when you get your money back, your stimulus, you could go out and have a nice evening, a nice day, and you'll be feeling much better. We have the vaccination, we're giving you some money, and here comes spring. The warmer weather, sunny days, we're ready for it. Happy days are here again. Thank you, everyone. Be good, do good, stay good. Thank you.